Hello and welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Pro Tour Hollywood is in the books, and Charles Gindy is now a Pro Tour champion. Great magic.
It was great magic, and it was great to see the smile on Charles Gindy's face when that match was over.
Absolutely.
He played some terrific magic. He did a great job just tearing through Jan Royce's Merfolk deck.
Yeah.
He's 5-0 on the weekend against Jan.
They got paired in the Swiss. Gindy won that match. They got paired in the finals. It was almost like a battle for kitchen table supremacy. You got the Elf deck. You got the Merfolk deck. Tribes that have been bashing into each other for 15 years.
$60,000 right in the middle.
$60,000. Maybe there's not that on most kitchen tables. But yeah, Gindy wins 40 grand. He's a Pro Tour champion. And now this is a guy that's been playing Magic since he was 12.
And I think you ordered that incorrectly when you're talking about Charles Gindy. I think you have to say he's a Pro Tour champion, yeah, and he won $40,000.
True.
When he was done and he's getting ready to take his pictures, he has the giant check and he has the trophy. And they're like, okay, we can hold on to those for you while you do the pictures. And he gives up the check, but he is holding on to the trophy.
Yeah, the kid's been playing Magic since he was 12 years old. He's been playing for half his life, and he's always dreamed of this moment of getting to play Magic on Sunday on the top 8. He's had a lot of success at sort of team Grand Prix over the years. He's piloted 3 different teams with 3 different sets of wingmen to the championship matches at the Grand Prix level, but had not appeared on a Pro Tour Sunday stage until now. Smile on his face the whole weekend. And he got the job done. Got the finals wins. Pretty awesome story.
Yeah, he had a pretty gruesome matchup in the semifinals that he had to get through.
Got paired against Revelark, had to get a little lucky. But he had a good sideboard plan. He had really, a lot of the Americans in town. He was the lone American in the top 8, and people were really chipping in. Zvi Malshewitz is back in his element, the Hall of Famer. Like, all right, it's Sunday. My job is to help somebody sideboarding plan. So he goes over to Gindy. He's like, here's what you got to do. You got to play for the big game. Take the Tarmogoyfs out of your deck. I know it's a little surprising, but that's the right play. And, that plan looked good, and, some help from some mulligans by his opponent.
Right.
And, Gindy managed to survive the bad matchup against Revelark in the semis. The other semi, you had Jan Roos playing against Shuhei Nakamura. That was just spectacular play by the Merfolk player.
Playing the magic of his life.
Yes.
Leaving himself 1 point of life in 2 games to draw just the right card at just the right time.
You let Shuhei smash him down to 1. Right. He's got the cryptic command to tap everybody, buy a turn, to attack twice, get through for exactly 20. Just great match. It happened in 2 different games where he let Shuhei attack him down to 1 and then managed to sneak it in.
Very easy to dismiss it as lucky.
No,
but
it was great.
It's great magic. It was positioning himself
Absolutely.
perfectly for the win. The only way I can win is if this card's on top of my deck and I play these turns exactly like this. If you get a chance to see those replays,
yeah, they were good.
Those were just fantastic matches.
The other thing to go back and watch, by the way, is the quarterfinal match. Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa, the Brazilian superstar, against Shuhei Nakamura. 5 top 8s on one side of the table, 3 top 8s on the other. Paulo had the lone fairies deck in this top 8, and they went to 5, and just every game was tight. It was crisp. It was just awesome magic to watch.
And you felt like there was a legacy on the line there.
You really did. You really did. Turns out, neither one of them managed to win the tournament, but it's just great magic. And Shuhei did manage to win that in 5, got through to the semis, but person this Pro Tour is going to be remembered for is Charles Gindy and his Elf deck.
Yeah, it was
now,
great magic.
Coming out of this tournament, a lot of people were watching this to say, what's going on with Standard Constructed? What am I going to face at Friday Night Magic? What am I going to face at Regionals? So what's it going to be?
Well, it could easily be the Guillaume Wafatapa deck that we saw, and which is actually Emmanuel Boucher deck.
To be fair.
That did phenomenally well, finished 13th and 17th in the tournament.
Right, only 5 people running it.
Crazy mana base, cryptic command.
Yeah, get your reflecting rules. Dust those off or get them if you don't already have them. Vivid Land reflecting pool lets you do anything with your mana. It's all kind of fun.
We obviously saw Merfolk. Merfolk's always been a popular choice. We saw that fairies can still do well. We saw that elf decks can do well. Revelark seems to be a deck that nobody wanted to face as they were coming down those last rounds of the Swiss, and they were like, I just have to win 1 more match to make the top 8. They're like, whatever happens, I just don't want to be paired against Revelark. This is a deck that you can upset some people with.
It's true.
Showing up at Friday Night Magic.
Seems like Standard Constructed right now, as of this Pro Tour, you can play beatdown, you can play control, you can play mid-range, you can play big monsters, you play to kill their monsters, you can play combo, you can play control.
Stuart Wright's deck, if you look through the deck text, there's a number of really interesting decks. The Black-Red Fury Stoke Giant deck, Alan Comer's Elf deck, which is capable of doing 20 damage on turn 3 or turn 4 with Roar of the Crowd, draws 18 cards in 1 game with Distant Melody. That's a very exciting deck.
Yeah, a lot of people were worried coming into this event that it's going to be all about fairies. And, the Ferry deck was, like 28% of the starting field, but it fell back to 22% by day 2, fell back to 12.5% by the top 8, and it was gone before we got to the semifinals. Right. So I think that, when good players set their mind to beating the Ferry deck, they could. The standard looks wide open to me. It looks like a lot of fun.
And there's still, I think, a lot of unexplored territory in the standard format. So
yeah, should be. It seems like a fun time to be playing Magic. It's a great time to be playing Magic if you're Charles Gindy. Huge smile on his face, living his dream here in Pro Tour Hollywood. Charles Gindy is a Pro Tour champion, and we had a lot of Magic that got played, a lot of Magic 3 plays to go back and watch. What other thoughts are you going to take away?
I'm going to take away seeing, again, I always come back to the Hall of Fame. It's probably being the Pro Tour historian, but having 8 Hall of Famers in this event, a lot of them doing well. Zvi finished well. Rob Darty and Darwin were at the top of the standings at the end of day 1. There were 8 different Hall of Famers here, including yourself. I just see like all these great long-standing players from the game playing side by side with brilliant new young players like Charles Gindy, our Pro Tour champion.
Next time we see you guys, we'll be in Berlin. We'll be watching a rotated extended, seeing what these guys can do when they turn their attention to that format. So for Brian David-Marshall, this is Randy Buehler signing off from the Tournament Center. We will see you next time.